We are speaking with Seb and Biff Byford. The new album under the new moniker Heavy Water is called Red Brick City, available July 23rd. And folks, I've been checking it out, and it sounds fantastic. Talk to me about the project and having it come together and going and choosing this style of music.
You want to take that, Seb?
Yeah. Well, obviously it was lockdown, and I'd spent a lot of time at home for that lockdown. I've got a flat in Manchester, but it was just getting a bit too much in the city. It wasn't sort of a great place to be over lockdown. So I came home for that, and I was just at home for most of it. We've got like a studio in one of the barns around the back. So we thought we might as well make an album. We had a load of free time, and because like Dad wasn't touring and stuff because of lockdown, I didn't have any shows. So we thought we'd just give it a go. Kind of fun project.
Yeah, we got some songs. Got some songs thrown around. We wrote some stuff together. So it's a pretty good project, really. We just hope people like it, really, because it was a bit of a labor of love, really.
Well, listen, I like it, and if I like it, folks are going to like it. I guarantee that. Let me ask you about this, Biff. You had the open heart surgery, and since then you've done the solo album, you've done the album with your son, and of course Saxon did Inspirations, the covers album. Was that moment sort of a turning point where you got reinvigorated and said, you know what, I'm going to get these things done because it's now or never?
Yeah, I think so. I think because I had to basically wait to heal for maybe 4 or 5 months, really, before I was able to breathe properly again. Quite a severe operation. So yeah, I mean, when I sort of got out of it, started getting fit again, I thought, well, I want to do something. I just don't want to sit around for a year and a half and do nothing, because that's really not me, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so full speed ahead, do the solo album, do the Inspirations album, do the album with Seb. I've been working on the new Saxon album that's be finished. I think that'll be finished this week. So we've been pretty busy.
Yeah, and listen, all the albums have been great here. I want to get over just really quick back to the songs. Revolution is a song that you wrote about global warming and pollution. And had you told me this a couple of years ago, I would have said, well, okay, that's kind of cute. But then I saw this documentary on Netflix about plastic called The Plastic Ocean, and I just went, wow, we've got a major problem. I know I'm a little late to the party. Talk to me about having sort of I don't want to say a political leaning to this, but having a message and not just going, here are some rock songs, rock and roll all night, party every day, but actually say, hey, listen, I've got some things to say. There's issues that we need to deal with.
Well, I think Seb really wrote the song. I think with him only being 23, I think it's coming from a different sort of background than what we were brought up in, especially me. I mean, when I was Seb's age, it was pollution city, coal mines, steel works, and all sorts of things going on. All the buildings were black from the soot that was created since the Victorian times. So I think people are becoming more aware of not disposing of too much stuff basically into the sea or into the rivers or into the toilet, actually, or into landfill. So I think we're going to have to do something about it in the next 10 years, I'm sure, because it's going to get really bad.
Yeah, and I would definitely recommend that documentary, Plastic Ocean, if you haven't seen it. Seb, you've been around Dad your entire life, of course, and you've seen him do the Saxon shows. You're out on tour with Black Star Riders and Judas Priest and the whole thing. What was that like growing up in that kind of situation where you knew what it takes to get to that next level, and you've had this music around you? How does that affect you, or how did that sort of form you?
Yeah, I guess it's sort of growing up around that and sort of seeing it firsthand and all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes as well, not just the live show. It definitely I think it gave me a more of a drive, kind of made me realize that it is possible, and I can do this. But it's just really motivating, again, sort of inspiring, just to see how it all works, and obviously, to see Dad on stage and stuff. So yeah, for me, it's something I've always sort of wanted to do, for sure.
Bit of a cautionary tale in what you saw, because it's not as glamorous as everybody always thinks. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes to get an album and a show done.
Yeah, there's a lot more hard work than it looks. Obviously, like, even just moving the gear around, and Dad's shows, they're a lot like some of the shows we do. Like, they're only half an hour long, like max 45 minutes, these sets, and like Dad's shows are like, they're like an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, and it's like, I'm knackered after half an hour. So to see these guys, fucking giving it their all for like 2 hours is it's definitely really inspiring.
It really is. Talk to me about actually getting to make an album with your, yeah. Pardon me?
When he was like 3-4 years old, he used to fall asleep at the concerts. He'd be sat in a seat out front, fast asleep. I think the loud music sent him to sleep. I think that almost happened.
Listen, I get that. I saw a Canadian band called the Headpins open up for Kiss back in '82, and I fell asleep during their set. So I sort of, I get it. I understand. And no offense to the Headpins, but I mean, I was young. What's it like working with Dad? Because you look at Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons, and he's got his guys, and now you've got this. Is it just nice to be able to work with Dad?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It just sort of happened, really. We kind of didn't really plan it too much, and obviously with me being here, we're just sort of like, well, we're both musicians, we both play music and love music, and we've got a studio there that's not being used, and we've not got much else going on, so we thought we might as well just do it. And yeah, it went really well. It went smooth, and it was just a really great experience for me to get to do that sort of thing, with my dad, because obviously not many people get to do that sort of thing and it be kind of released on a big scale. So yeah, it was a great experience, and it's something I'll definitely remember for a long time.
Let's hope that we get a Campbell Byford family tour. That would be kind of interesting, actually. Biff, in terms of your voice and your vocals, you said that it was a little bit harder after the heart surgery. Have you regained full capacity, or have you had to learn how to sing differently? How has that affected you?
No, I've retained full capacity. The vocals on Heavy Water weren't sung that long ago, were they? No. We only sung, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not long since we did the vocals. So yeah, my voice is in good condition. It's just the lungs, really, that were the problem, because they put you on this, respirator, a bit like COVID, I suppose, but not for so long. And I think everything goes into shock a little bit. So it takes a while to get the power back in your lungs.
Right. Now the project we've mentioned sort of was born out of lockdown, and we're hopefully heading out of those now. Is this something, though, that you continue? Will there be a second album? Is that something that you're interested in, or is it sort of like, lockdown, one and done, been there, done that, back to Saxon?
Yeah, I think we've created a sort of band, Heavy Water, and it seems as though people like the album. Obviously, you love the album, so maybe if people like the album, love the music, then we can do some shows together. That would be great. But yeah, we're thinking about doing another one. We have some songs left. We can write some new songs. You can always write songs if you've got time. Time is the factor.
Yeah. Well, and with shows still being a bit slow here, at least here in Canada, and I don't know about the UK, but yeah, there's still a lot of time. The album, of course, is heavy, right? I mean, it's a heavy album. Is that something that you sort of just want to keep doing till the end of time, in the sense of there's going to be no Biff Byford folk album or acoustic greatest hits? I mean, how important is to do the heavy music?
Well, it's not heavy metal. It's definitely more rock and roll. And
right.
There are obviously some sort of less sort of heavy songs. So I think the album's a good mixture, don't you?
Yeah. We want it to be sort of to have a mix of sounds on there, just so it's not so we're pigeonholed to one sound.
No.
But maybe on the next one we'll we'll put a few more acoustically slower ones. It just depends how we're feeling at the time. You know, if we're into the riff and we're into the song, whether it's heavy acoustic or more folky, you know, if we're into it, then we'll put it on.
Yeah, we're not really we're songwriters. That's what, and then, you know, people have to understand that we're songwriters, so we're writing songs, and we're writing in the genres that we like. So, you know, I mean, Seb loves heavy rock as well, the same as me, but obviously the music's not as heavy metal as Saxon are. But there's no point having another Saxon album, is there?
No, there isn't. But you are working on a Saxon album right now. What is sort of the timeline on that? Is that a 2021 release, or are we looking for 2022?
No, it's you're going to be able to. I think you're going to be able to pre-order it fairly soon. But I think the album actually comes out in I think it comes out in February.
Oh. Talk to me about just real quick on
around about February 14th.
Okay, so let me just quickly ask you about Saxon and new music. You've been around since the late 70s, early 80s. Do you go in and make a new album and say, we have to capture that classic sound? Or you say, hey, we've been doing this long enough, we can do whatever we want. What kind of music is the new Saxon?
Well, you know, we just write music and let the tape roll. I mean, we just record whatever we write. I mean, you know, we're very secrets in the writing and recording. I mean, when you're recording Saxon, or if you're recording, you know, Judas Priest, or if you're recording, you know, some of the Iron Maiden, say, the bands nearly always sound the same. You know, the songs are different, but you know, as far as the sounds go, you know, obviously Andy Sneap does our albums. So yeah, I mean, it's all about the songwriting really, and the material that we put on the album. That's the secret. And you know, so yeah, I mean, we work on the songs. I mean, I work with Nibs a lot. He's a super sort of songwriter as well. So yeah, you'll get to hear it. And some of the songs are written by the band, and some of the songs are written by me and Nibs. But you know, what we tend to do is we tend to write the song and then take it to the band, and then we all fiddle around with it a bit, and they put in their little bit into the song. So that's how we work. Really.
Is that how you worked on Heavy Water? Did you write all the songs, or you and your son wrote everything, and then you bring it to the drummer Tom and Dave and say, all right, let's have some input? Or was it sort of like, no, this is our vision, now let's go reach? I
think with this one, it's mine and your project, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then I think we can use any musician we want, really. I mean, Tom's a great drummer, and he drummed on you know, on the Naked Six album, which was Seb's last album. But yeah, you know, I think it's just you know, mine and Seb's project. And I think Seb's the guitarist in the band, right? So he wrote basically all the guitar riffs, and then we sort of you know, did some melodies together and did some lyrics together, and that's how it's come together, yeah. Because you know, the guitar is a better guitarist than me, so you know, he writes better riffs than me.
Yeah, I saw you playing bass on the in the video, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Is bass something that you want to be doing more often?
Not really, no. It's just, you know, it's just I like playing bass. I used to play bass when I was Seb's age. I was a bass player singer. So I've played bass all my life, really, all my musical life. So it's not so strange to see me play. It might be strange for you, but it's not strange to see me playing bass guitar. I write Saxon songs with bass guitar, sometimes Nibs on drums, sometimes, you know, Nigel on keyboard. So everybody's quite multi-instrumental,
Well, all right. So then tell me, how do you write the songs then? Do you sit down with an acoustic guitar or at a piano and come up with something? Do you come up with a melody and then throw lyrics later? Or do you have lyrics first and then you figure out how to fit it? What is the writing process for both of you?
It's the music first. Sometimes it's the lyrics first. But I have sometimes I've kind of written stuff down in a book, and then I found it actually you know, then sometimes you put the lyrics to the music. Sometimes it has more meaning because you've sat down and actually put pen to paper and thought about the, you know, the message of the song and what you actually want to say. But most of the time, I mean, a lot of the stuff for Heavy Water, it was just riffs we kind of had here and there, and some riffs I had, some riffs Dad had, and we kind of brought them together and then kind of really worked on the melodies and lyrics together. But yeah, I guess it's quite hard to say sort of the process of writing, because sometimes, you know, you won't write for like a month or two and you're like, what's going on? Then other times you'll write like loads of songs within a short time frame, like in a few weeks. So it's one of those things, like the juices are flowing, they're flowing. If not, you just got to accept it and you know, be patient and wait for it to come back.
Yeah, I think sometimes as well we sort of you know, pick a title for a song and then sometimes write the words around the title. You know.
That's actually a good way to do it. I had a long conversation with a friend of mine, well, Jim Valance, the writer, and he says you have to have the title first. That's, you know, if you don't have that.
Yeah, sometimes you've got 3 or 4 titles in the same song. You know, if it's quite catchy, and then you have to pick the one that you think means the most. You know.
Yeah, really do. I just want to go over quickly to the Inspirations album and some of the choices. You had a Paperback Writer and Hold the Line, the Toto song. In terms of the music you sit and listen to at home, are you really that diverse where you're listening to all these things, including, you know, because for me, my interview right after you is the guys from Flock of Seagulls. And so, you know, it's a little diverse there, but when you get to doing Toto, was that just it's a great song, we got to cover it, or are these songs that sort of inspired you and had you going back then?
I think with Toto in particular, people are more surprised about Toto than Paperback Writer. I think the song itself, the way that Steve Lukather plays that riff, it sort of established a way of playing a 2-string chord on guitar, basically a root and fifth chord, and we use that in 747 and Bands Played On and Princess of the Night and a lot of our songs. So it wasn't really the band Toto, it was more the song. You know, I wouldn't say that you know, Africa or Rosanna inspired Saxon, but Hold the Line is a massively heavy riff, and you know, we loved it back then in the 70s. You know, we heard that song and thought, well, that's a great guitar riff. Yeah. Although the vocals are a bit soul-y, more R&B, but you know, I got rid of that, started singing straight rock. You know, so I mean, Steve and the band sent us a message on Skype saying they love the version, you know, and thanks for doing it.
Yeah, and Steve,
I've played with him a few times. I have told him, you know, that we love that song a few times to his face. You know.
You played with Steve?
I used to call it Toe the Line to wind him up. I'm saying, Steve, that song Toe the Line, but it's Hold the Line. Oh yeah, sorry, but Toe the Line. How did you? So I was winding him up a lot. But that's cool.
Hey, Zach Wilde has a Towing the Line song, but yeah, Steve is just a genius. I mean, one of the greatest guitarists ever. Moving forward, does this band tour?
Yeah, we could tour. It just depends how people. You know, there's no point touring if people don't know the songs and don't know the album. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. It's getting great reviews, and you know, it's getting played quite a lot on radio, rock radio. So yeah, I mean, it'd be good. You know, yeah, it would be good to rock out together, put a band together.
I find that comment interesting because you are Biff from Saxon. If you were to show up at the local pub and put on a 45-minute set of whatever, I'd go. You can't turn that brand into anything.
Yeah, but you know, it has to be. It's a bit like you know, Phil going out and doing an entire Motorhead set. You know, it's not really. You know, it's not really Motorhead's band, is it? Although he was in Motorhead,
right?
And he does do some. So you know, if we did show, we'd probably do a couple of Saxon songs.
Gotcha.
We'd probably do a couple of cover songs from the Inspirations album. You know, I mean, Seth could do a me and Steve Lukather solo.
Because just as a fan, if I know you're coming down to the local pub, I don't care what you're singing. You could do a set of Beatles covers. I'd show up because Biff's there. I mean, that's all I need.
won't be an arena tour, that's for sure. But let's
True.
see, keep our fingers crossed, and let's see what happens. I mean, music's a strange medium, so anything can happen. Really, it's like it's like doing the lottery.
Yeah. As you're putting these songs together and putting together this album, do you look at some of these songs like Revolution and say, huh, this should probably be a Saxon song? Maybe I'll just, how did you decide sort of what was pile A and what was pile B?
I wanted Revolution for a Saxon song. He wouldn't let me have it. So, he was guarding that song. So, yeah, I mean that could be a Saxon song. I mean that riff, it's a great riff.
Yes, it could be.
Red Brick City is a great riff as well. So
yes, it is.
So,
yeah. So basically, your son said you can't use them. Well, hey, listen, if perhaps Seb will reconsider for a couple of points on the back end, because you've got some great Saxon possible tunes on this thing.
yeah.
On that, folks, Red Brick City released July 23rd. You can pick it up, of course, anywhere you can get music, whereas Spotify, Amazon, whatever. And on that, merci. Thank you so much. Toujours un plaisir.
Yeah, great. I'm going to see everybody real soon, and let's hope everybody loves the Heavy Water album. We're looking forward to seeing how that goes, aren't we, Seb? Absolutely. Yeah, cool. So
yeah,
keep the faith.
Keep the faith. And folks will love this. I'm telling you, it's a great album. Had a chance to listen. It's great.
Love the world.
Merci bien. I will. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Great. That was good. Thank you. And on time. Cheers.
You see